So you get your 911 Porsche engine checked out by a garage, and then they give you the bad news. Yes, you have the dreaded bose score. Your heart sinks and you know to fix it it's going to cost you thousands. If you watch my videos, you probably remember that in my last one I used my inspection camera to check the cylinders for bose score. And I discovered that cylinders 4 and 6 are bose scored on my car. Oh no. Oh, there we have it. Can you see them scratches, guys? And oh, there you go. Oh, look at that one. Ooh, nasty. So this has put me in a bit of a financial position now, as mine is a Cat N car and it's worth less than a non-catted car. Should I be throwing thousands of pounds at this to fix it? Well, not necessarily. A good few options are available to you to deal with this issue. So in summary, and then we're going to cover each one in detail later. So option 1 is just to sell the car with the bose score and just take a loss on the purchase price. Option 2 is to buy a second-hand engine and install this in the car. Option 3, buy a new engine from Porsche. Option 4, get the current engine refurbished. And option 5, of course, do nothing and just leave it as it is. So let's investigate these options one by one. So in option 1, that was actually to sell the car as it is and just take the loss on the actual purchase price. Now I bought this Cat N car for £10,000, which I thought was a good price, as good condition non-catted cars are going for around £18,000 to £20,000. But now we haven't covered bose score on mine, I think I could maybe only get about £4,000 if I sold it as it is. That means I'll be at least £6,000 down on the deal and I wouldn't have a 911. So option 2 was to buy a second-hand engine and install this in the car. These are widely available on eBay and the average cost of a second-hand engine with around 100,000 miles on is about £7,000 to £8,000, including the delivery, which I think is pretty steep because what you're buying here is an engine that people are telling you have done 100,000 miles. You've got no guarantee that that is correct. And also, these engines are the original engines from the car, so they're still going to be prone to that bose score issue. Who knows, if it hasn't got it now, it could have it within the next 5,000 miles. So I think this is a false economy going down that route. Also, after I've put this back in the car, I think I'm going to be closer to £8,000 to £9,000 out of pocket because all the other bits that I'm going to need. And I'm still going to have an engine that's prone to bose score. So for option 3, which is to buy a new engine from Porsche themselves, the engines they supply are just new old stock. So I'm going to still have the same problem in the future, and I don't know when that is going to happen. For instance, mine is at 70,000 and started to develop bose score. In my research I found people who have done 40,000 miles in the cars and developed bose score. Other people have done over 100,000 and haven't had bose score at all. Now I can't find a price online for a new Porsche engine, but I've seen a quote from somebody who said it was around £10,000, but this was from a few years ago. So I'm going to imagine it's £10,000 to £12,000 just for the short block engine. Now I've found 2 contenders for this. The first one being a name that I think you'll all know if you're in the Porsche world, and that is Hartech. Now if I remove the engine and send it to them with all ancillaries removed, this is what they will do. They will install 6 new high-strength aluminium alloy closed deck wet liner cylinders. They'll add performance pistons and rings, new crankshaft main and thrust bearings, new performance big end bearings, new timing chains and guide rails, new IMS bearing, cylinder head overhaul, and new lower temp thermostat. And for all this, currently today they charge £10,440 inclusive of VAT. Now this is fine and a good price, I can hear you shouting at the screen. But you've got to remember one thing, this price is just for the standard package and for all those things I've just reeled off earlier. If they find any other issues while they are stripping your engine down, such as snapped bolts etc, the price goes up. So I'm expecting it would be nearer to £12,000 from them, and if the worst comes to the worst and the IMS shaft needs replacing, that's £1,000 in itself. So you could get into £13,000 or £14,000 by the time you got your engine back. Now the second contender I found is a company called AMS Porsche. Now they offer the same service as many engine rebuilders, whereas they will accept your engine in, they will strip it down, they will split your engine for you, send off the cylinders to be relined to Hartech, and then reassemble when it all comes back and replace anything else that's needed. Now what I don't like with this is that you're still in unknown territory. As they split your engine down, they are going to find things that need replacing, and again the cost is going to keep going up and up and up. But I have found something that AMS Porsche do that Hartech doesn't, and that is that they offer an engine block on an exchange basis that has already been stripped down and rebuilt using Hartech liners. Now that means there's no surprises with this engine. All I need to do is drop my engine off with them and pick up their newly rebuilt Hartech lined one. I then get it home, reinstall all my ancillaries, which if any of them are damaged or broken during the strip down, I would still have to repair those anyway, and then chuck it back in the car. Now this comes at a price, and that price is just under £12,000. But it would mean there would be no expensive surprises going down this route. And that brings us nicely to option 5. Leave it as it is and just live with it. But are you just delaying the inevitable? So I had many comments on my Facebook post and YouTube post saying just put some thicker oil, some 5W40 in, and that will just slow down the bore scoring, and you may get a long time before you need to do anything about it. But I'll still have that infernal ticking sound, and I think that could really annoy me. So to summarise, in my case, my options are sell and end up being about 6k down on the deal, but that means I'm still going to have to find another 996 Porsche to continue on with the project that I have planned, and that means I'm going to have to spend another 10 or 12k, and again I could end up with another car that's got bore score problems, and I would now be £16,000 to £18,000 out of pocket. Buy that second-hand engine, that's going to be around £8,000, £10,000 I think. And again, I've still got an engine that's liable to bore score and would still be driving around in a ticking time bomb, literally. Buy a new one for Porsche, again this is new old stock, so it's the same engine and I'm still going to be liable for bore score and £10,000 out of pocket. Buy that refurbished block from EMS, now I'm going to be £12,000 out of pocket, but I would know in this instance that I do have a good car and it's been well looked after, bodywork etc. Alright, it's a catted car and I've got some plans for it, that's not going to bother me, but the car itself on a whole has been looked after, and it's a low mileage example of this car, which should give me many years of trouble-free motoring. And obviously the last option, spend nothing, put a bit of oil in and live with it. Well, my answer is I'm going to do a mixture of option 5 and option 4. That is, I'm going to drive around and live with this car up to the point where it's getting on my nerves if that ticking gets a lot louder, but I'm going to put the 5W40 oil in and just see how it goes from there, with a view to going for the AMS refurbished block at a future date. Because I would love to do an engine swap on a car. It's something I've never done. Well, I lie, I did do one when I was about 17 or 18 on my Ford Cortina 1.6L, but that's a long time ago. I'm wondering if I could, in my garage with my tool set and my limited room, do an engine swap on a 911. Now I think that would make some interesting video for you guys anyway. So now I need to start saving up that £12,000 to buy that refurbished engine from AMS. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue on as if there's nothing wrong with this one. So in the next video, we're going to get back to doing the major service. And that's a massive service, including the water pump, including the low temperature thermostat, and everything else that I can do in that service. You don't want to miss it. So to help me raise funds for my £12,000 engine, guys, and to do more interesting things with some better cars, I've got some amazing plans in the future with some amazing cars that I'm thinking of getting. Then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. This really does help the analytics and helps me grow this channel to make it bigger and better for you guys. Thank you for watching. Till the next time, stay safe.